Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. I had someone ask for a tutorial again. I already did one, but I thought I'd do one again. Maybe the details weren't that great. I just want to start it off by saying this bike, 125F, with enough wheelie experience, it comes up in any gear. You can do first, you can do second, you can do third, and you can do fourth. Fourth is hard. You gotta get going, but it's about the right RPM and the right clutch control. And let's skip to the bike. Alright, well, I just want to start this off with, no tutorial is going to give you the hours on the bike and teach you how to do it. Like, you have to take what you know with the tutorials and implement it into real life, and you have to practice. Like, I'm out here a lot. I walk the dog with my mom on the dirt bike, which gives me lots of practice on the dirt bike. So what I've found is, could I wheelie this in first, second, third, and fourth to begin with? No, I could not. The only time, the time when I started getting better with wheeling this thing is when I got a bigger bike and switched back to this thing. If you're doing a wheelie in first gear, you don't have the time frame in which you can do a wheelie is very short. You have to pop the clutch right away. You have to make sure you get it up right away. If you start chasing it, you're going to wind up the bike. You're going to end up like wide open. Second gear, a bit better. That's the best gear for wheelies in this bike, the second gear. Third, you have to compress the fork. You have to lean forward a bit. Not super lean forward a ton, but you have to compress the fork and hold your clutch in, compress the fork, and pull back really hard. And you can pull back into that sitting motion. Same with fourth, but you have to be with fourth, you have to be not lugging the bike. In any of these gears, you have to be not lugging the bike, which is why it's hard for me to wheelie in third up this road, and I can't do fourth because I can't get into, the bike doesn't have enough power to get into the high enough RPMs to be able to not lug. Like, see, I'm lugging the bike there. Now this is in the RPMs like that, right? So you want to make sure you're not lugging the bike. In second, you can lug it. You can drop the clutch in a low type of gear, right? Because second gear is really easy for the bike. It's a super easy gear to wheelie, and the bike really likes second. If you learn how to do it, it can be difficult because if you don't pop the clutch at the right time or anything like that, it can be a very difficult gear to learn to wheelie in. Any of them can be. I got a pretty loose and dry chain today. Not super loose, I guess, but it's very, very dry. It's probably a bit too loose. The way that I learn how to wheelie, guys, is like this. I drag my 2 feet back here, and I just sat back on the seat, not holding the brake. I just dropped the clutch and learned to drag my feet behind the bike like this. I'm not on the brake, but if you start to go over, I would assume, if you're big enough, you start to go over, you're like this. You're dragging the bike behind you, and you can just drop it like that, right? It's hard. It sounds hard on it. Well, it is. Pretty much anything's hard on this bike. The suspension falls out instantly. But that's sort of the thing. And then you want to start practicing. It's easier to drag 1 foot in a wheel. You can do the 2-foot drag method in second gear if you want. But if you loop it in second and come off that thing, you're not going to be able to walk behind it, is the thing. So first gear is the only gear you want to try that, in my opinion. Second gear, what do you call it? Just keeping your feet on the pegs is going to be really hard. It was really hard for me to start with. It'll probably be really hard. This bike is cramped, very cramped. It's hard to keep it from falling side to side unless you're going very fast, which this bike does not go very fast, at least where it has power. And so yeah, you're just going to want to practice that clutch pop, and you're going to want to lean forward a little bit, maybe get it into, like, you can hear on my clutch engages. That's where you want to drop it. You want to drop it right there, right? And make sure you don't forget about that back brake. You see me using it a lot. I'm not very great with my back brake. I need to work on it, but use your back brake. When you eventually get into more advanced wheelies and you're starting to like float it places, you need that back brake, and it's a great thing to learn how to use. It's great, especially if you're wheeling downhills, really anywhere. I apologize for the chain squeak, by the way. I'll get that fixed. But yeah, right clutch timing, right timing in the engine. I'm going about probably 7 kilometers an hour. You can go about 5 miles an hour, 10 kilometers an hour. You can go even slower now. See how I drop my foot? Dropping your foot is going to make you turn, but it helps you balance better, right? Because you got your foot down there and you're dragging it, and you're able to make contact with the ground while your wheel is up in the air, so it helps you balance better. And yeah, just again with that motion, you push down a little bit and you pull it up while popping. So you're pushing down and you're pulling up while popping the clutch. Right? Just like that. Just like that. And then keep practicing that. If you're not comfortable with that, as I said, you can go to the foot drag method. And then eventually you'll start dragging your one foot, and then eventually after that you'll start putting your feet on the pegs. If you find it really difficult low speed with your feet on the pegs, method that I use sometimes is rest your foot. So say this is my feet on the pegs, I'm doing a wheelie, rest your foot through it like that. See how my foot's through it? It helps you kind of balance a bit better, because it leans your weight more, I guess it kind of centers it better. It makes it better and it helps you balance. Not really a secret to it. For me, it was just getting to learn how to get it steeper and balance it. Falling side to side, I know you guys are probably thinking about that. Like, I'm falling side to side, why am I doing that? How do I stop that? Really, the answer is experience. You have to know how to lean side to side to counteract it. If you're going faster, it won't happen to you as much. It just won't. Because you'll be carrying more momentum, there's more momentum forward, and it just won't happen to you. That's the foot through method. That's the drag method. Right? Like, you'll eventually get used to it. And it's fun on the pitters. It's not easy. Like I said, I went to a big bike before I learned how to do like 3rd gear on this bike, or 4th gear on this bike, because it's not easy and you have to push and pull. At the point when your bike starts becoming not so serious and you start getting more used to everything, you're not thinking about what you're doing, it gets a lot easier and it's a lot of fun. Ow, why did I raise my... I don't know if you guys saw that, but my wrist was like up here. That was not easy to wheelie, but I did it. So that was 3rd. And 4th, very similar to that. You have to get I'd say a little bit higher in the RPMs, and then you gotta just stand, push down, and pull back like that. Like, it's just standing, push back, pull back, sit on the seat, and then that's what you want to be doing. You want to stand, push down into the bike, stand, push down into the bike, and then lean back and sit. It's a weird one to get used to, but once you get used to it, that's, well, how you do it. So, yeah, that doesn't sound good. Yeah, and wheelies on these bikes, probably not great for them, right? 4 strokes, oil, top end, probably not great for it, but they're fun. You know, they're really fun to wheelie. And I hope this could help you in some way. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. I can make another video. I don't really have any questions to go off of, other than how to please make a tutorial, because I don't know if you guys are wondering 4th gear or if you're wondering 2nd gear. Well, I do know some people were wondering 2nd gear. It's just clutch pop and compress and lean back. Oh, also another good one that I just remembered. Straight arms. Keep your arms straight. Don't keep them too tense. Just keep them straight and loose. Straight, loose, and lean back. That's what I got taught when I ride a pedal bike. That's why it kind of helped me when I went over to a dirt bike. You keep your arms straight, not bunched up, not turned, not the bar turned like a little squirrel. You're not like a little chipmunk trying to get at a nut or something on your handlebar. Just arms straight, lean back, and just relax. And that will help you get to the balance point and sort of feel the bike balance out a little bit better. And it will kind of help you just understand what the goal is, and it'll get you more comfortable. But just make sure you're near that rear brake. and you'll feel the balance point. When you get up to the balance point, you'll feel it. It's where nothing's really happening. You're up there and you're not going forward, you're not going backwards. Then you're at the balance point. If you start to go backwards, you're past it. If you go forward again, you're past it in the forward direction. But yeah, I hope that can help you. Straight arm, keep your arm straight, keep your wheel in the front air. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching. I wanted to add, there's also a few different methods that you can use to wheelie. You can use the sit down. Once again, you can use the foot drag, the through the peg, the on the peg, right? So the sit down, fully both feet on the pegs, through the peg, you can drag your rear feet, drag your one foot. You can also do a standing method, which I actually gave me quite a bit of confidence when I first tried this. And I remember that because I wasn't very good at wheeling and I first tried this and I thought it was pretty cool. Keep your foot over the rear brake like this and then swing your knee onto it like that. So what that's going to do is that's going to swing your knee onto it. So you might think this is a really hard trick because you see a lot of people doing it online. It actually helps you get it up easier because you're more your weight's on the back. So yeah, you want to be, if you're sitting, you want to be leaned back or on the back of the seat. You don't want to be up here for wheeling. You want to be back here, closer to the exhaust when you're wheeling, near the back of the bike. But for this, yeah, you keep your leg right back here, and then you put your foot over the brake, right? Right foot over the brake, and left leg swung back over here. If you're wanting to do it the other way, I would not recommend that because you're going to have your left leg here over the shifter, and you're not going to have your foot over the brake. You don't want to do that. So left leg over the back of the bike, right foot on the peg, and it's gonna feel weird because it's gonna pull you to the side, but if you get to learn how to do it at least a little bit, you'll feel that the bike's getting nice and steep, and you'll feel that popping it up is easy or easier. Just doing a regular standing wheelie on these bikes is hard. It's not easy for me either. Like with both these, that's not an easy one to do. You gotta pinch really hard, and it's really awkward for me because the bike's super small. Keep your leg over the back like this. I got my leg over the back now. Right, like, and then you start to learn how to get it steep. It's a lot easier. See, it does like to lean, but it'll sort of show you how to start to learn how to wheelie. Because sitting down with both feet in your pegs, it's hard. It just is. It's really hard. If you don't have your leg through or anything like that, it's hard to balance. It's not easy. The bike is cramped. It's small. It's not pulling you with like 30 horsepower. You're doing a lot of the work, and it's, or at least more than you would on a race bike. It's not easy. So I wish you guys the best of luck. Be safe. Keep your front wheel in the air. Peace.